Hey guys, how you doing? Been quite a while since we've talked. It is Sunday, the last day of WorkCon, and as you can tell, I'm not there. Got a little bit tired, did a lot of stuff this weekend, super exhausted, but you know, these things happen. Sonny, sit down. So what did we do while we were there? I was there Friday and Saturday. I was there late Saturday, super late. I did not get home till 3 or 4 in the morning. I was at WorkCon running demos. Primarily, I was running them for Indie Gaming Alliance. I was also running Card Wars. I took a couple versions of the Card Wars to run. It's kind of one of my favorite two-player games to demo. Max, please don't help. I got the little ones right now. Usually I make these videos after they're asleep, but we do what we must. Max. No. Okay, so we were running Card Wars. What else did we run? I was running Tried and True Boss Monster. Gotta run the Boss Monster. So we had a good time running that. This demo always does really well. A lot of people are excited since the Kickstarter for the second editions came around. So that's good. Ran Boss Monster. Did not run quite as many demos as I normally do. This con was kind of a, I guess I want to say kind of was a good term. I broke even. Did not run quite as many demos. What else did we do? I ran a couple games of Haba. This game is it's called Rhino Hero. It's actually a game for kids about 2 to 5 years old, or 5 to 99. But
I saw that game.
It's a stacking game where you essentially stack you're building a house of cards involving the Rhino, and you move him floor to floor. Me and Mark actually played this a lot. We got it up several feet up before we collapsed. It was a great game, and it actually attracts quite a bit of attention because it's stacked so high, and it's quite visual on the table. What else did we do? I played games. I had actually picked up this by accident, Super Farmer. It is basically like a resource management game. You were trying to collect the most animals on a farm, the most of a single type of animal, a variety, to be the best farmer. It's a fun little game that we kind of played. It's for ages 7 to 99, which is probably hilarious next to boxes, but my kids play it quite well, and it is super luck dependent based on the dice. It's really fun though, because you can just sit there and nerf the other players. It's great, hilarious fun. I ran a couple versions of Mage Wars. I've had this for a little bit of a while. Or War Mage, I'm sorry, War Mage. It is War Mage, not Mage War. That's a totally different game. War Mage. This is a fun card game. Okay, let me tell you about this card game. You start out with a hand. Everyone gets a hand of 3 cards. You get 3 cards that you can choose from that are face up out of the draw pile, or you can pull blindly from the top of the deck, and you cast spells on the other people. You're basically trying to deal lethal wounds. You start out with 3 flesh wounds. Once you've had your 3 flesh wounds, it turns into basically critical hits, or it turns into mortal wounds. And there's ways to mitigate damage. There's a lot of reaction. The only thing that I have with this game, it's really fun to play. It's really hilarious, and you can totally play it. The only thing I have is some of the text is a little bit tricky on the cards if you're not following it correctly. But one of the benefits is if you get the text right away and you understand those cards, you're going to dominate play. Me and Mark had a great deal of fun with this. We played this a lot. A lot of people came and asked about it, so we had fun with it. I gave Martian Dice a shot. It's similar to Zombie Dice or Dinosaur Hunter Dice type thing. It's very fun, but it plays very easily, very light. Really fun. So we played a couple filler games, and we played a couple big box games. I also Andromeda Fight League. This was probably the highlight of my gaming at the convention. This is a prototype that kids are fighting with the cat. This is a prototype game that I picked up, and I picked up a couple for the Indie Gaming Alliance to send out to them. But this game was designed by a teenager as a homeschool project, and it's a card game that plays on a modular board with, you get your little avatars that kind of give you your stats as little buffers, so you can remember your stats instead of reviewing your cards all the time. But you play, and you're trying to. It's a drafting game, kind of a card drafting game, but you are trying to develop a league of fighters, trying to have the best elite squad of fighters, and do basically a combat game. The fluff behind it is the Millennial Wars have ended, and you've got this armies of soldiers that have nothing to do, so they start a fighting league and they just have fun. So there's some magic components. You've got some snipers. I'm gonna actually go ahead and open this for you. This is a prototype, remind you. So the components aren't done, which is great. I'm actually gonna play this a couple of times with the kids, and then I'm gonna send it out to some people I know for reviewing. But the artwork on this is really great. I'm going to focus on the artwork. Focus. There you go. So you've got giant soldiers, magical warriors, you've got everything. You got a machine, and he wrote a manga to go with this. They're going to launch the Kickstarter, I think, at the end of the summer. But there's stats on here for your ranged attacks. Some of these have ranged attacks, some of these don't. They've got their movements on them, they've got their life points, some of them have magic. So these are what the battle boards. It actually comes with 8 boards that are reversible, and you basically put 4 of these together in a customized battlefield, and that's how you play the game. It's for 2 players, but it scales up to 4, and they're actually going to provide some other stuff later on for tournaments and events, which is great that they're thinking that far ahead. We were actually talking about them actually. We were actually talking to them about maybe leveling up or stepping up some of the components in the game and adding miniatures or resin figures to kind of, instead of using the little avatar cards, you use a full mini, like a 28 or a 30 millimeter scale mini. So Andromeda Flight League, Fight League, real fun box, real fun prototype. I'm glad I picked this up. So we played that. I did a ton of games with Eric, and I went ahead and did some demo of some 5-minute games with AEG, which is always, their games are great, and they actually gave me, for participating, a copy of The Hobbit Love Letter, which is, again, I'm collecting all the love letters, so it was great. It's one of the ones I'm missing besides the loot letter. So it's great. What have we got coming up on the horizon? So we finished Strategicon, or GameX. Next up is Polycon, and that's going to be the weekend of the 21st in June. And I'm going to go up with Eric to do that. And then we got Comic-Con coming up. I have to decide still about Comic-Con and Anime Expo between the two. It's literally going to be Anime Expo, and then 2 days in between Comic-Con. So 4th of July weekend, you're going to have Anime Expo, and then Comic-Con is going to happen. So that's a lot of convention to go through in the course of a month with that much of a gap in between. So probably just going to do Comic-Con. What is one of the other things we're going to have coming up? So we've got that coming up. We've got an anime event in August, and Anime America in August. And September is going to be the month of all months. That's going to be literally an event every single weekend. Long Beach Comic Book Comic-Con. You've got the other Strategicon event, OrcCon. You've got Gaslight Gathering. There's one other event that's just eluding me right now, but I mean that's 4 events in August. So as you can see, our plate's kind of full. New on the channel, so besides I'm getting back to updating weekly, I'm just going to deal with things. I had computer issues before, and then I have all this footage that I just was overwhelmed with that I haven't gotten around to redoing, which is fine. I'm just going to forget all that and pretend like it never happened last time. But we're going to start doing videos as often as we can. Mark is actually going to start providing me with some miniatures updates. He's going to actually start uploading videos to the channel. And then talking to some of my other people. Our team for Comic-Con is already set. It's me, myself. Jessica's going to go and actually do stuff for Looney Lab. She's a Looney Lab technician. A friend of mine, Rick Anderson, who actually helped me out, bailed me out at Long Beach Comic Expo and WonderCon, is going to actually help me run events at the next, as many conventions as we can. Oh, we've got Kamikaze coming up too. Holy smokes, I just remembered about that. Ugh, October's going to be tough too. So Rick's going to help me out with that. KDZ, and you guys remember her from some of the other videos, is going to help me run some demos at Comic-Con, some of the other events. Matt Shears is going to help me run some SDE and some other stuff. And let's see what else. Oh, I've joined a couple more demo teams since we last talked. So before I was Ninja Division, I was IGA, or Indie Gaming Alliance, and I was Looney Lab Tech, the three. I have since joined Cool Mini, or not, as a league member. Yeah, as not a league member, I'm sorry. Wow, I totally jacked that up. Legionnaire. I'm a Legionnaire. I joined the Legion, and then I joined Mayfair Games as a shepherd. And then Mayfair Games as a shepherd, I joined Elio for theirs, and I'm going to start doing some extra stuff. Cryptozoic doesn't have a demo program, but I demo their games anyways because they're fun, and I like them. So yeah, so I've kind of got my finger in a lot of pies, and that's actually going to be a lot of the stuff we're demoing. We're actually going to try and have 6 demos, missing a finger, ha! We're going to try and run 6 demos at a time at each convention of 6 different games. Instead of me trying to do 2 or 3 or 4 games at one time, just kind of spreading it out. That's a lot to handle, so we're going to go ahead. Shh. My dog's an idiot. He barked at the wind. Go figure. So, we're going to go ahead and do that. It'll be a good time. And, yeah. I think that's our updates, and that's where we're at. So, drop some comments. Oh, I keep forgetting about this. This is like the thing that I keep missing is I'm actually getting more into 40K than I was previously because Matt had hooked me up with some Space Marines. And then Chung was getting me some vehicles. Chung from the WGC, great guy. He really wants me to play that game, and it's fun. I've been messing around with it with Matt. So we're going to be doing that. I don't really have time for miniatures games. I love them. I enjoy them. I still play in Her Majesty's name. I'm still working on some crews, but to invest the amount of time that I used to, like when we used to play Malifaux, is just not there for me. I got too much going on with the kids, and personally, I don't really have the motivation to paint right now either. I haven't had really the motivation to paint since last year, so I'm still painting things slowly, but to sit there for 2 or 3 hours and paint up a squad or a crew is just kind of bleh right now. So I'm going to still play minis games, but that's why kind of Mark is taking over because he's got way more motivation to do that stuff with me. And he's a henchman and he does some things, so it's pretty good. Oh, what else did I pick up at the convention? I picked up this cool little fish. It's like a koi fish. I picked up this dice bag at the convention too. This is really cool. It's really well made and it looks like a fish. Or an oven mitt. I actually picked up one for the wife in pink because if I didn't, she was going to take mine. So it's really cool. The booth that made them, she just sells at that convention. Well, the woman that sells them, she doesn't really have a shop, but she did a really good job. These are $5 a piece and I really like them. Otherwise, guys, that's the update. That is your post-OrcCon report. Saw a lot of good friends, made a lot of new friends, tried a lot of games, played a lot of old games, and enjoyed a lot of new games. So, I hope to see you guys at some events, some store stuff. Happy gaming, and may the dice always roll in your favor.